Look at him going, look. Where you going, mate? Pigeon, and you as well. He's on the other side of the road. Well, if I make it back alive, then I will post this video, hopefully. So anyway, welcome back to the channel. This is Andy speaking. It's July the 23rd, and it's if my clock says 6:10, it's actually 7:10, and it's 28 degrees, absolutely sweltering. I've got my jacket open. Anyway, enough of the waffling intro. Today I wanted to talk about bike security, boring subject, bike security. Now, what makes me an expert on bike security? Well, absolutely nothing, apart from real life horror and terror, and anger and frustration about having this particular bike attempted theft on it. I was going to say have it stolen, but technically it was called attempted theft because they didn't quite get away with it. Things I want to go through on the video, most of these things I've probably got done to increase my security. Most of them I've got done, maybe all of them I've got done. Certainly I've got things that I'm not going to share on this video for the obvious reasons, because I'm kind of thinking, well, these people got into my garage in the middle of the night, they got through the roof. I've done a separate video on it, I'll put a little card up there somewhere if anyone's remotely interested. But yeah, just a brief outline. Got in through the tiled roof, took a load of tiles off, saw them through the batten and felt, lowered themselves in, hour and a half in there. I know that because I checked my dash cam on my van the following morning, and I could hear them getting in about 1:30, whatever it was, and it was about 3:15 in the morning when they finally got the chains off this GS, smashed the window of my van to drag the van out of the way, which was reversed up to the garage door to get the bike out. Now that's when I heard all the commotion outside, looked out the window, see the van going down the drive, rushed out in a blind panic in my underpants. That was enough to scare anybody off, to be honest with you. And the lad was just, well, one of the lads, there was three of them, one of the lads was just running past my front door with this bike. And when I kindly asked him not to steal my bike, otherwise I'm literally going to frigging kill him, he just literally let go of the bike and ran. And then of course the bike carried on a little bit and crashed. Big shout out to B-Moto, who I only just changed my insurance probably about a month prior to having this bike stolen. They were faultless, absolutely brilliant. You couldn't really fault them. It was absolutely a seamless process. BMW Wollaston as well, as you would expect from a main dealer. Well, you'd like to expect from a main dealer on a newish machine. Everything was replaced pretty much better than it was when it first came out. Every little nook and cranny and nut and bolt and washer, and down to the cable ties that have to be replaced, everything was replaced, brand spanking new. It was a joy to get it back. The whole process took about 2 months. So what have I learned after this? Because people watching the video about bike security, it's like, yeah, well, I'll lock it in the garage, I'll put a chain on it, I'll probably put a disc lock on the front maybe, and that's pretty much it. And that's kind of all that I'd done. Now the first thing that springs to mind is, how did they know that I'd got this bike? Well, it might be through videos like this, it might be through Facebook and things like that. I'm not going to stop doing videos because someone tried to steal my bike. Everyone does videos, everyone posts pictures on Facebook. Oh look, I'm out on the bike with my mates today, it's a picture of me bike on a nice sunny day, bloody blah. But I suppose the thing is, just be careful what you're posting and where you're posting it. When I say where you're posting it, we all post it on the same platforms, but don't put a picture. I mean, I've seen the odd occasion where people put pictures of their pride and joy that they're just cleaned on their driveway, and it's like, oh, that looks nice and shiny, I'm going to stand back and put a photo of that on Facebook. And then it ain't going to take a lot to work out where you live, especially if you're local. I've even noticed door numbers in certain people's photographs. So I would say be careful where you take the photos. Don't have your street name or your house number, or a big stand back from the bike so you got a picture of your whole house in the background, because if someone really wants that bike, they've only got to look through your Facebook and sort of narrow down where you live, and then it won't take a lot to sort of find out. So be a bit careful with posting pictures. Also, what I would say is, if you're doing videos like this, don't start your video in your street, because again, they can locate you quite easily by doing that. And the usual things when you're pulling into your street, just make sure you're not being followed by anybody. If you think, oh blimey, that, you know, stereotypical old knackered transit van's been behind me for a few miles, is he following me? Just sometimes I've had that happen a couple of times, not very often. I've had that happen a couple of times where I thought, is he following me or not? So I might be like approaching, I don't know, this roundabout before I get straight, and I'll think to myself, I want to go straight on. I'm going to do like a lap of this roundabout. So I'll do a lap of the roundabout and see if he follows me. And then the next thing, I'm behind him, I might pull into this lay-by for a little bit. Might pull into here, give it a couple of minutes, and then carry on my journey, just to be on the safe side. So keep your wits about you, is what I'm saying. It's so easy to be blasé about these sort of things. No, well, you know, I don't bike theft happens, it's all part of it, I'm insured, so what the hell. Don't forget you still got your excess. I mean, yes, I have to pay the excess, bit of a borough. What can you do? I didn't lose my no claims, by the way, they're protected, so that was a good thing. So it'll be interesting to see, now I've had a £5,500 claim, what my insurance is going to be next year, whether they start trying to claw that £5,500 back. Time will tell. But anyway, photographs, videos, be careful. Next thing I would say is, the reason they stole this bike is they knew where it was. So we've just covered why they might know where it is. Now, how do you prevent them from getting in the garage? Well, in my case, like I said, they got in through the roof. So what I've done, I don't mind saying this, what I've done is I've secured the inside of my garage roof with marine plywood. Now there's more than one sheet of marine plywood up there, so yeah, I've double layered it. I've also put something else on there as well, which I'm not going to divulge, and I've also filled the cavity between the plywood and the roof felt as well. So I've filled that with something which is going to be annoying to get off. So that's all I'm going to say on that matter. So are they going to be able to get in the roof? Well, of course they are. It's got this wood and other things up there which are going to be annoying and probably a bit sticky as well, to be honest with you. So yes, they're going to be able to get in there, but it's going to take bloody time. Don't forget, once they got in the garage, that they must have got in quite quick, 1.5 hours to saw off a lock and a disc lock. That was it. Oh, and get the little bolts that I've got on the garage door, but they were just like 10 mil spanner, times 4, 2 on each side. That was it. Just over an hour and a half to do that. So if you can delay them as long as possible, that's kind of the main thing. And the other thing was, I thought to myself, well, okay, I'll delay them as much as possible. So I'm going to delay them to get in the garage, i.e. the garage roof, which I already outlined. And instead of having 2 locks, which took an hour and a half to get off, I'm going to have more locks. So what I've done is I've got 3 chains. I've got 2 on the back, ground anchors, 1 on the front, ground anchor. I've also got, I mean, I've gone a bit OTT, but what the hell. I've also got 2 Oxford Screamers, and them Oxford Screamers, if you get the black ones, I bought some of these like yellow, orange, no, I think they're yellow, sort of these yellow Oxford Screamer type disc, alarm disc locks, and they were, I don't know what they were, 30 odd quid each or something. So I've got some of them on the other bikes, and I've also got the black ones, which were, I think they were like 40 something quid, whatever, 45, 50 quid, something like that. And they are 10 times louder, well not 10 times, but they are a lot louder than, the black ones are the loudest ones. So spend the extra 10, it's only an extra 10, isn't it? And get the black ones. They're like proper, like, bike alarm loud. And I'm thinking to myself, if they're going to be cutting all these locks off, it's going to be vibrating the bike, and these 2 screamer alarms are going to be going off all the time. So if it took them an hour and a half to cut them off, these screamer alarms potentially will be going off for an hour and a half, which is going to make a lot of noise, so somebody might hear that noise. Now I hear what everyone's saying, oh, no one takes any notice of alarms, blah blah blah. The only reason I foiled this attack was because I heard my van alarm going off that they set off. So in my case, yeah, you could say, oh, when no one else got out of bed. Well, no, they didn't until I started effing and jeffing in the street. But the fact that I heard my alarm going off alerted me to this potential theft. So I'm saying the only way you're going to possibly foil these people is to make it take it as long as possible for them to get the bike, i.e. all these locks and chains, bloody blah, and in reinforced garage and everything else. Oh, going the wrong way with my gearbox. And make it as noisy as possible as well. So they're the sort of things I've done. Now, there are other things that you could do, or that I've possibly done. For argument's sake, there's a few things that you can have on the inside of your garage door. So you could possibly go down to your local ironmongery type fabrication bloke, whatever you want to call it. You'll find one on every industrial estate in every town, and get these people to custom make you a big friggin' metal gate that fits on the inside of your garage door with a dirty grey ABUS padlock, maybe. Just throwing it out there. They are pretty good, about 155 quid to be honest, but they are good. So you could have a massive great big gate on the inside. Now the reason I've opted, or I might have opted for a big heavy duty steel gate on the inside of my garage door is not to attract too much attention. A lot of people have those, whatever you call them, you know, the garage defenders on the outside, so they've got the big bar down the bottom to stop people lifting up the up and over garage doors, which I think they're a good idea. The only downside with that is that, for me, I'm thinking, well, you know what I'm going to say without saying it anyway. I'm thinking to myself, well, that's kind of saying to Mr. Would-be thief, oh, there's probably something worth stealing in that garage, because he's put all these garage defenders all over the place. So yeah, it's up to you, but either the garage defenders, which is the cheaper way of doing it, or the big heavy duty security gate on the inside, which would probably cost you about £400 plus £155 for the padlock if you was to go down such a route. So that's sort of my sort of tips on slowing people down. Also, going back to the I want to be alerted, making loads of noise. If you've got a car or van or whatever, then park it right up to your garage door at night. And obviously, like most cars and vans are alarmed nowadays. You could even go further and have them bollards put in, or you could maybe get a wheel clamp for your car stroke van, which I might have done that. So where are you going? I thought you. Why, people are crap at indicate. Look, indicate left, turn left. It's not frigging hard, is it? Cameras as well. Ring camera system's always a good idea. You can get range extenders, so if your garage is a little bit further away from your router, you can get the range extenders, which in my case are not great for cameras, but they are good for putting the sensors up. So you can have sensors in the garage on your ring system, you can have the little breaker sensors on the garage doors, etc, etc. And the range extenders will work perfectly up to about 200 meters, so I'm told. So if you've got a shed that's further away from your house, then your ring motion sensors and everything else are going to work perfectly up to roughly 200 meters from your house. Wi-Fi extenders for cameras, probably not so good. But having said that, if you can't get Wi-Fi, it's too much faffage. If your shed's 50 meters from your house and the Wi-Fi doesn't reach, then you can buy these portable little Wi-Fi things, which look, I don't know, they're about that big and about that fat, and they run on their own SIM, and you can buy them quite cheaply nowadays. In fact, a lot of phone tariffs, possibly Vodafone, if you buy a new iPhone, you get one of those free. So all you do is you run your ring camera off of one of those. Great, happy days. That might be something I'll look into, you never know. So that's kind of my top tips for security. I mean, like I said, I'm not a security expert. It's just that I've concluded from my experience on what I should have done to possibly prevent the theft. If I'd have done all this crap before, before March when it happened, then I might not have been having this conversation with myself driving down this road. But hey-ho, you live and learn, and shut the gate after the horse is bolted type of scenario I'm going through at the moment. One more thing I was going to say is a lot of people on the Facebook page said, oh, get a baby monitor, they're brilliant. No, yes, baby monitors are very good because you're going to hear everything in your garage which is going on. Downside of it, you're only going to hear what noise they're making. So if they break in and you've got a crap little lock, and these people got a little hacksaw and they're carefully sawing off your lock in the middle of the night, you might be a heavy sleeper, so you might not hear them doing that. But whereas, oh, and another thing, you have to be in the house as well. So if you're not home when the baby monitor's going off, then you ain't going to hear nothing, are you? But like I say, if you had the screamer disc lock, or maybe a bike alarm, or anything else that's going to make a row, then you're going to hear that on the baby monitor, so all is good. An alternative to that is on eBay or Amazon or any other wonderful online outlet, you can buy these PIR sensors. So you basically get a sensor which you stick up in your garage, etc., and then you get the little alarm box which goes in the bedroom or wherever you want to put it for at night. And then when somebody trips that, it plays a little doorbell sound and it flashes a blue light at you. And such an item will cost you about 20 English pounds. So they are very, very good. No Wi-Fi or anything like that. You just literally put batteries in. The batteries do last quite a while. I'm talking over a year rather than months. So yeah, 20 quid, good 20 quid well spent, I think. So they're kind of my top tips anyway, and be sure to tell your insurance company that you've done all these upgrades, because they do like to know. They do like to know what you're up to secure your bike. Oh, and one more thing that's just popped into my head, because I haven't rehearsed this video, as if you got to the end then you'll be aware of that. Trackers. Now trackers might be a good idea. You can buy a cheaper one which will do the job, not Thatcham approved, but it will do the job. Monimoto they're called. They're about 150 odd quid. Runs on its own little SIM card with a battery, so it's not hardwired into the bike. And then when you're getting your bike repaired, if you was to get one, you could probably give it to your BMW main dealer and say, can you install that on the bike whilst you got it in bits please, and they will probably say, oh, well done for not indicating, you're fucking marvellous you are. God, all day long. Where am I going now? I've no idea where I'm going. This sat nav, it's like, you go around the corner, look at that dickhead, look. Jesus man, he's got imaginary lat syndrome in that bloke, carrying a couple of imaginary carpets. I shouldn't take the mick, I used to look like that one time. Yeah, so you could get a nice cheap Monimoto for 150 quid, get it installed, battery operated. You get the little app and it tells you whether your bike's moved or anything like that. So all you do is you have the thing hidden on the bike, and then you have a little key fob which goes on your key ring. As long as key fob is with bike in range of tracker, no issues. If bike is moved without key fob, it sounds the notification on your phone, and then the GPS is activated and you can follow it on the little Google map type thing. Oh, come on, where am I going now? Where am I going? Straight on, yes. And it's about, I can't remember how much it is, what I was told anyway. It's about 30 something, 35, something like that. 30 something pounds a year. Are you just stopping in the middle of the road, are you? I know, you go, yes, go. It's about 30 something pound a year subscription for this, so that's it. Or alternatively, you can go to your main dealer and get one for about 400 quid and whatever it is per month as well. So there is that alternative as well. So anyway, I hope some of you guys do consider upgrading your security if you're a bit crap at it like I used to be, because it will happen eventually to most people. So let's all try and prevent it happening. So be safe out there. So on that note, if you got to the end, you've done really well, because this is a crap video. And on that note, please consider subscribing if you've got nothing better to do in your life. And I will speak to you whenever I can be bothered to do another one.